Right, I've just temporarily put it together just so I can get this distance. So I want to measure from there to there, and cut two of these that are going to be the end caps, and then they're going to sit on like that. So what I need to do is put a little rebate on the end, on the end of the pieces that I cut for the ends, and try and get it going through square. I used to have a thing that slid in here, but I'll just find I'll cut a square board, run it along there, run the timber up against it. A tiny little step there. Don't know what that's about. Maybe it's just because it's just pressing down on a single board instead of a long piece, which good. Bit of glue and some clamps. That's on both ends. Crushed it. Right, I think I missed some videos. This got half lapped, similar to what that did. Done a little bit of touching up here and there. Tiny little cracks in the edge. I think they're okay. But I've touched them up anyway. They'll sand off. And like this, I put like a little round on it. That's looking quite good. Put the light on, see if that's any better. But that's looking okay. What I've got to do now is make some more of these. They want them squarer, these are rounded off. So what I did the other day, well a few days ago, is cut some timbers. And these have been sat on the shelf, a bit of space between them, let them breathe. They were from a wide plank, so I've sat them up there. I like to do that because when you cut a board it can bend. Plane it all up and then you come back next day and it's bent. All the tension, you release all the tension in the boards. They came out of wide boards like this. These are the offcuts, these two. Like I say, you cut them, they go boing, you plane them nice and square, and then come back to them next day and they're bent. So I like to cut them to rough size, stick them up back there, leave them for as long as possible really. Ideally you'd leave them in the place where they're going to be, you know, if they're in your living room, stick them under the sofa for a month, let them climatise. I've got to plane them up. You see me plane things loads of times, so I'm not going to bother on that. Somebody mentioned putting extensions on here. Here I have bits of metal, it's about 3mm I think. They were to make extensions like that, but unless they're absolutely perfectly flat through, all they're doing is helping me support the timber, which don't really help too much. Plus I'd have to support them in some way. I don't really want to drill into this, so it never quite got done. Maybe one day. You can see it's been a harsh winter. That's wood I like, I want to keep, and I've cut up and burnt the rest. They're going to go eventually. Right, so they're planed. Left them a little bit wider than the originals. It's this bed, they do want it sort of square and chunky. Now I've got loads of grooves to put in it. Right, so I've got this mechanism to put in. You can see from this one below here, it's got a slot cut in all the way down. You just see it there. Don't know, I'll take one of these apart and see what it looks like. Right, I got somebody mentioned these, Sianet. Half the price of these Abernet. These are about £6-7 a pack, something like that for 10. These are £16, £17 for 50. Got a couple of new blocks as well, so these are getting a bit tired. They're alright, but they can go live in the van. I'll be giving these a go now. So I've got 320. So I've got 320 on one, 120 on the other. Oh, time to take these apart. See what's going on in here. I'll take some photos as I take it to bits. A bit of wood. I'm not bothered about damaging this or this, but I had to take it out carefully. It's got a wedge on the end, look. But that is a piece that's been glued in, I presume. So I'll have to destroy that to get that out. But then it looks like, wherever it is, it's just in a slot. Must be a spring in there somewhere. Right, should be able to get this out now. Use this one as a template. There's another one in this end, and then there's the other pair of rails. So I've got my two pieces here. I need to cut my slots in, my grooves. I've transferred my marks over, my distances. I've chosen to do these two first, while I can still see my marks, because once I cut this groove in, it might be a little bit harder to see these marks, you know, as I'm cutting. So I'll cut these in. Got a face mark and a face mark. So all I should have to do is cut that one, cut this one, spin this thing around, and then cut the others, working off the faces. Right, I went past this mark, that was intentional, honestly. I want to make sure there's plenty of room for this to move. So that's those ones cut. This one is the same as this width. The only cutter I've got is this one. I've had it in acetone, so all the paint's come off. But that is, it's a fraction wider than what this is. It's the only one I've got, so it'll do. I think that depth's going to be alright. But instead of changing the collet in the machine, I use these. They're only a couple of quid. But using these reducers, I can extend the cutter a little bit. You can let that protrude a little bit. It's got plenty in the machine. I'll just sharpen this. I just use my diamond stone. So a lot of these cutters, because a lot of these cutters, that bit is 90 degrees. So it just sits nicely in there. Right, fence hasn't changed. It shouldn't have done anyway. It won't change for any of this. And I'm going to cut this one first again, then do the full groove. Bernie cutter. And I'll do the rest. Right, so they're all cut. Just got to put a groove down the middle now for that wire. Got a 6mm cutter for that. It's a bit burny, and I wobbled a bit there. Bloody thing wouldn't let me go any further. So I had to take my hands off, get it off. Anyway, a bit burny, but be fine. Probably need a new cutter. Right, I got the 6mm groove done. Like I say, fence hasn't changed. All I'm doing is changing cutter and depth. Right, so they're done. I need to cut little pocket holes, get your fingers in there, make a little jig for that. And I just put this back in there because that only closes to there, you see. I just tried it in here, panicked a little bit for a minute. Well, not panicked, but thought, bugger. Because I put that in there, and I pull that if I can. Well, I've got my finger in it. If I pull that to its extreme, that only does that. I thought I had to go all the way in, but that one doesn't, so mine doesn't. You see why I went past my line on that bit. That's good. Make a little jig, cut my holes. just sand these off a little bit now. I got a file, it's not a rasp, but good. Just need to put a piece of timber on the back here to make a fence. I've got some activators so it'd go off immediately, but exactly, it goes off immediately. When you do it like this, you do just have a fraction of a moment to, you know, move it around a bit. It can slide a little bit also sometimes, but it does give you a little bit of time just to adjust it fractionally. Right, cup of tea time while that dries. Right, I've just put a couple of pencil marks where the little hole lands. So from that mark now, I can work out where my jig sits. I'll square that over. So that's my line. I'm going to sit the edge of this to that line. I think they'll do. Got a little flush trim cutter in here. And I'll set my depth stop till that reaches that. And I'll have to plunge cut through carefully till I get to that depth, till my bearings rubbing on this. Cool. I'll just set this in, see what it's like. So that's back in.